Hello and welcome to Benue Television News at 9. I am Susan Ayo. The headlines. Benue Health Commissioner advises residents not to panic over monkeypox. Federal government raises 10-member committee to enforce Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy. Plus, Germany court upholds conviction of 99-year-old former Nazi camp secretary. Now the news in details. Benue State has been grappling with a deadly disease that has claimed numerous lives over the years. The situation has become a significant concern for both residents and medical authorities in the state. The ailment, known locally as Ambi in Tif, Aplo in Idoma and Apiti in Igede, is medically referred to as Buruli ulcer. Correspondent Matu Iklono Tuesday went around Makudi, the Benue state capital, to get the belief of Benue people on this ailment and the progress of health authorities have made so far in combating the disease.
Has been lost to this deadly and mysterious disease known in the local languages as Ambi, Aplo, and Akpiti. According to traditional beliefs, the ailment is thought to be an affliction brought upon by traditionalists skilled in causing pain or death to their victims. The beliefs are deeply rooted in the culture of the three major tribes in Benue State, who asserted that there is no known medical cure for the ailment, only traditional remedies.
It's curable. Cure is not in the hospital. Okay. That is what you understand. Okay. The cure is not in the hospital. If you go to native doctors, those herbal doctors, they are the ones curing the Ambi.
It's a very dangerous disease that people are bringing from native doctors, herbalists, to affect or afflict their fellow humans out of wickedness.
Some people send it from here, and we don't know how the medicine will come that we will treat it. They don't matter, they call them Aplo, but an Igede then call them Akpiti. So I will not know the medicine to treat it.
Kaini etete otega Aplo Akpiti nwajo etenemando kupi Aplo. Egane yote maba ele mi ko lo ti po mi ke pila. However,
Benue State Commissioner for Health and Human Services, Dr. Yaman Utese, has provided a different perspective. He described the ailment as an infection caused by organism Mycobacterium oserians. Dr. Utese explains that the disease typically begins as a painless swelling of the affected area, usually on the arms, legs, or face. The commissioner is urging the people of Benue State to seek medical attention at the medical institution located in Makurdi, Boko, and Otukpo. He also highlighted the Ministry of Health is collaborating with international partners to combat this deadly disease.
Usually presents with swelling of lower limbs, with blisters, which erupts into wounds, and they become ulcer. It is not a witchcraft illness. It's a mycobacterium illness. It can be treated. We have developed drugs that the organisms respond to it. The clarithromycin and the rifampicin taken for way over 56 days can completely clear the organism, while the ulcer will be treated like any chronic wound.
Recall that Dr. Yaman Utese had previously announced during the endowment fund for the establishment of a cancer center at the Benue State University Teaching Hospital in Makurdi that his ministry is actively working on ways to eradicate Buruli ulcer in the state. Matthew Ikulono, Benue Television News, Makurdi.
Benue State Commissioner for Health and Human Services, Dr. Yamara Otesi, advises the people of the state not to panic on the outbreak of the monkeypox in Nigeria. The commissioner, in an interview with Benue Television Tuesday at his office, assures Benue people of adequate preparation to tackle the outbreak. Correspondent Matthew Ikwulono covers the interview and now reports.
The outbreak of monkeypox in Nigeria is causing worry to many people in Benue State. Commissioner for Health and Human Services Dr. Yaman Utisi says Benue people need not panic as there is no report of monkeypox in Benue, Nasarawa and Abuja. Dr. Yaman calls on the residents in the state to look out for symptoms of the disease and report to the 3 health institutions in the state.
Formerly called monkeypox, but now we call it mpox, has not been reported in Benue State because our emergency operations center has not reported any case of mpox.
Dr. Utisi assures Benue people of adequate preparation to tackle the outbreak if reported in the region.
We have our hospitals in Benue, 3 tertiary institutions in Benue State that can handle any of those problems. The teaching hospital, our state teaching hospital, Federal Medical Center Makudi, and Federal Universal Health Sciences Otupo. These are tertiary health institutions we have that can manage it.
Medical experts say the monkeypox is a communicable and contagious disease that has so far claimed a lot of lives in other African countries. There are also fears of the disease continuing spread across countries. Matthew Ikwulono, Benue Television News, Makurdi.
Benue State epidemiologist Dr. Mswega Asama and state focal person for monkeypox, Joy Akume, has advised the public to practice and maintain proper personal hygiene to prevent the spread of monkeypox disease. The advice came Tuesday as part of the discussion on monkeypox during the Benue Television live program Talk Health. Iwange Baja has details.
According to Dr. Asima, mpox is a rare viral zoonotic infectious disease that is spreading across several African countries, including the tropical rainforests of the West and Central Africa. The exact reservoir of the virus is still unknown, although rodents, squirrels and monkeys are suspected to play a part in its transmission. Dr. Asima during Talk Health says the symptoms are similar to other fevers but manifests with rashes.
The first symptom in most cases to appear is fever. Then after 1 to 3 days there is a rash. Then other symptoms like headache, muscle pain, general body pains, back pains, sore throat, they also can be seen in this patient.
Dr. Asima also says there are vaccines for mpox and the Ministry of Health is yet to take delivery of the vaccines for Nigeria.
The vaccine that was used against smallpox and mpox are from the same genus of the orthopox viruses and the same family of the poxviridae viruses. So they share similar clinical presentation and response to treatment.
Another guest on the program, Joy Akome, mentioned how people living with mpox can be supported.
We shouldn't discriminate against people that come down with this disease. Like we said, it's not a death sentence. It's treatable. It's a self-limiting disease, meaning it can run the course of its time in 2 weeks if there are no complications and you're okay.
This new strain of mpox virus, which is said to have emerged in eastern Congo and has since been detected in Kenya, Rwanda and Uganda. According to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC), a total of 39 confirmed cases and 0 deaths have been recorded across 19 states and the FCT from the beginning of the year 2024. Iwange Baja, Benue Television News, Makudi.
You're watching Benue Television News. Let's take a break. Don't stay away. Glad to have you back. The federal government had set up a 10-member committee to enforce the Supreme Court judgment delivered on 11th July 2024, granting financial autonomy to local governments in Nigeria. Director Information and Public Relations in the Office of the Secretary to the State Government of the Federation, Shingu Imohiosen, disclosed this Tuesday in Abuja. He said the SGF Senator George Akume, who inaugurated the Interministerial Committee, would himself chair it. Members of the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Member, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Accountant General of the Federation, Governor Central Bank of Nigeria CBN, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Finance, Chairman, Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, representatives of state governors, and representatives of local governments. The federal government has said that a switch over from petrol-driven vehicles to compressed natural gas (CNG) vehicles would now be the cost of transportation in the country. The Minister of Transportation, Saidu Alkali, said this during a walk-in visit to International Liquefied Natural Gas Energy Conversion, Transportation and Safety Company in Abuja on Tuesday. Alkali said that the CNG-powered vehicles would change the Nigerian economy since transportation was the gateway to the nation's economy. He said that with the switch over to CNG, a lot of resources would be saved and the challenges with public transportation will be solved. The minister said that with CNG, government will redoubling efforts at providing safer and cheaper energy in the transportation sector, which should bring down the cost of goods and services. Also speaking, former special advisor to the president on Senate matters, Senator Ita Enang, said that CNG-driven vehicles would reduce the cost of transportation by 90%. Chief Operating Officer of the company, Samuel Uko, assured stakeholders of the company's efforts towards reducing the cost of transportation in the country. Uko said that the gas initiative was President Tinubu's renewed Hope Agenda project. He tasked all stakeholders on the need to do everything possible to support the government to bring down the inflation rates in the country. Human rights activist and lawyer to the Nigerian Labour Congress Chief Femi Falana has replied to the Nigerian police on why the president of NLC, Comrade Joe Ajaero, cannot honor the invitation to him to appear at the force headquarters on Tuesday, August 20, 2024 by 10 a.m. He explained that the NLC president had fixed an engagement for August 20 before the police invitation was sent to him on Monday and promised to be available at the police headquarters on August 29. Chief Falana, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria's son, in a letter to the Inspector General of Police through the DSP Muhammad Ahmed Sanusi, also requested the police to furnish him with details of the allegations of criminal conspiracy, terrorism financing, treasonable felony, and subversion and cybercrime leveled against him. Senior advocates of Nigeria's sons, among other justice sector stakeholders, have urged the incoming Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekere Ekun, to prioritize the sanitization of the nation's judiciary. The past Deputy Director of the Nigerian Law School, Professor Ernest Ojoko San, Professor Samuel Orugu San, and others noted that the judiciary currently suffers from low public confidence, which they said requires urgent attention to restore the integrity of the system. They spoke in Abuja on Tuesday, August 20th, during a roundtable discussions on how to address key issues undermining the judiciary institution's integrity, effectiveness, and service delivery. The event was organized by the TAP Initiatives for Citizen Development and the Network of University Legal and Aid Institutions, Nigeria. Speakers particularly urged Justice Kekere Ekun to be prepared to reform judicial appointment process to eradicate nepotism and favoritism, which they claimed was currently rampant. They also touched on the need for the incoming CNG to address challenges relating to abuse of exporter orders, conflicting judgments by courts, or coordinating jurisdiction and related problems. Ojoko, Erugu, and others also stressed the need to reform the process of dealing with election petition and political cases and work on ways to enhance discipline and accountability in the system. We'll take another break. When we return, we continue with international news. Don't go away. Glad to have you back. On the international scene, a manhunt is underway to Kenya after the escape from Nairobi cells of a man police claimed had confessed to murdering and dismembering 42 women. Kenya police spokeswoman Resila Onyango said Collins Jamasi Kalusha, 33, described by police as a vampire, a psychopath, and after his arrest on July 15, broke out on Tuesday morning along with 12 undocumented Eritrean migrants. The breakout was discovered when officer made a routine visit to the police station cells at about 5 a.m. to serve the prisoners breakfast. The police station is located in the upmarket Nairobi district of Gigiri, home to the regional headquarters of the United Nations and numerous embassies. Kalusa had appeared in a court in the Kenya capital on Friday when the magistrate ordered him to be held for 30 more days to enable police to complete their investigations. Mohammed Anim, the head of the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, said after his arrest, the Kalusa had confessed to murdering 42 women after 2 years from 2022 and that his wife had been his first victim. A German court has rejected an appeal by the 99-year-old woman who had convicted of being an accessory to more than 10,000 murders in her role as a secretary to the SS commander of the Nazis' Stutthof concentration camp during the World War II. The ruling on Tuesday by the Federal Court of Justice in Leipzig is final. It came 4 months before Irmgard Frontiers' 2 years suspended sentence handed down by the Itzehoe Regional Court ends in December. She was accused of being part of the apparatus that helped the camp near Danzig, now the Polish city of Danska, functions. Last month, the Frontiers lawyers caused doubts on the whether she was really an accessory to crimes committed by the commander and other senior camp officials, and on whether she was truly being aware of what was going on the Stutthof. In 2022, the Itzehoe Court said that the judges were convinced that Frontier knew, and through her work as a stenographer in the commandant's office of the Stutthof concentration camp from June 1, 1943 to April 1, 1945, deliberately supported the fact that 10,505 prisoners were cruelly killed by gasping, by hostile conditions in the camp, by transportation to Auschwitz death camp, and by being sent on death marches at the end of the war. Hamas has said a ceasefire deal must result in a permanent end to Israel's war in Gaza, accusing the United States of merely buying time to Israel continue its genocide by proposing an amended accord. It urged the world to pressure Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to sign the deal proposed by the U.S. President Joe Biden on May 31st and backed by the United Nations Security Council on June 11. On Tuesday, Biden and Hamas was backing away from the deal agreed by the Israel. Hamas reacted to Biden's comment, saying they were misleading, stressing that it was eager to reach a deal, but the new provision contradicts the earlier framework. Hamas said, by shifting the terms, the U.S. is showing blind bias towards Israel and complying with its demands, enabling it to commit more crimes against defenseless civilians in pursuit of the goals of estimating and displacing people. With that, reports have come to the end of our bulletin this morning. Before we go, a recap of the top stories. Benue Health Commissioner has advised residents not to panic over monkeypox. Federal government has raised 10-member committee to enforce Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy. We also told you that Germany court has upheld conviction of 99-year-old former Nazi camp secretary. Thanks for being part of Benue Television News. Stay tuned for more programs. I am Susan Ayo. Remain blessed.